Hey, besties. Let's throw some shade, honey. You ready to get into it? I think Kyle needs to learn when to text someone and when to call someone. You don't want to leave that kind of evidence in someone's telephone coming from your telephone number. There's some things, is of course, any text can be misinterpreted, most text messages. And this one could be. I'll explain later. Well, welcome, besties. You are now behind the shade, and thanks for joining me. I review your favorite reality shows weekly. And now let's kiki and ha child and get into another episode of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Season 14, Episode 7. What the Chuck? Do we like the title of the episode? I do, because we learned later on in the episode what that meant. And it was so cute. Or was it? Did Erica really like that? Or did she just have to put on for the cameras? And besties, how would you rate this week's episode? I'll give it a solid 7.5. It was cool. But drop down in the comments and you let me know what you thought about this week's episode. And please don't forget to like this video. And please make sure you're subscribed to my channel. And make sure your notification bell is on. Ding dong. And that way you are notified each and every time I post my content. Now, remember, this episode is a to be continued from last week, okay? So Dorita's still hollering at Kyle, still acting like she want to fight. Kyle vein is popped up in her forehead still. And so Dorit says that makes Kyle seem guilty to her. Kyle repeated, I am not going to text him anymore. Like, what else do you want me to do, girl? Okay, you said what you said. Don't nobody want PK but you, Dorit. Okay? Kyle likes women. She don't want your husband. You might want hers, because that was the word on the curb. And I'm so glad they brought that up this season, this episode, because I was saying a few episodes ago, like, but what about you and Mauricio? Like, okay, so they brought it up. Okay. So Garcelle had to add in her 2 cents, because that's what she does. And so she gonna ask Dorit, and how are you doing? And Dorit looking like, girl, I can't even with you. Girl, we don't even see it for each other. You think I'm gonna sit here? Do you see how angry I am? You want to sit here and just stir it up? Will you please know when to shut up? I think she said that Garcelle don't know how to read the room. She does. She does. Garcelle knows how to read a room, okay? She just will choose to come after you, Dorit, each and every time she can. She will not miss a moment. She will never spare you, ever. Okay? So she was like, are you serious? And Dorit was like, are you serious? And Garcelle was like, yeah, that's why I asked. She could be so nonchalant. So Garcelle was looking at her and she asked, am I next in line? And it's just like, Garcelle, you are really poking the bear. You need to stop. You really need to stop, being that you have been divorced too. You know what this is like. Even though you don't like Dorit, you should learn how to just sit there and be quiet. Dorit gets up. She's not doing this with her. She gets out and walk out. Erica follows behind her. Dorit then apologizes to Erica because this is Erica's night. And she told y'all not to act a fool. She said, have fun. Did you? No. So inside, Bose was speaking up for Dorit, and Sutton says Kyle didn't deserve that. Kyle says, you have to know the history of the whole 8-year friendship. Then Bose asks, you can think something's funny, and then you can not think it's funny anymore. That's safe. That's fair, that can happen. Yeah, and it happens all the time. Kyle, in her confessional, she says, don't come up with something to not like about an a-hole to the new people in the group. Oh yeah, she said Dorit. I'm saying don't. I wrote Dorit, but the R and the I looks like an N, and then the dot on the I looks like a comma. Dorit had to come up with something to not look like the a-hole in the group to the new people. And it's working. Okay. She is using her divorce. Okay. So Jennifer asked, well, do you think she thinks PK was texting you more than just memes? Here goes Sutton, like nudes. Ew. Come on. Hold on. How does Kyle go from Mauricio to PK? Come on. You gotta be kidding me. And let me remind you, Kyle has gone from Mauricio to women, okay? ah. Bo says, um, yeah, I would have thought that, news and inappropriate stuff, maybe, ugh. Erica says Dorit is not putting up with Kyle's stuff no more. And this is just wow. She's never seen Dorit act like this. She lunged towards Kyle. She's never seen Kyle's vein pop up in her forehead. Kyle said her vein hasn't popped in her forehead since she had an argument with Camille. Child, back probably in season 1 or 2. And we on season 14. And I'm sitting here like, your vein didn't pop while you and Mauricio been breaking up? No? Oh, yeah, they're having a peaceful breakup because of Portia. Their daughter's in the house, I'm assuming. So, Erica's just like, wow, I've just never seen them go at it like this. And then Dorit leaves, hops in her car. She's out. Bye. So the next day or so, Kyle goes over to Sutton's house, and Kyle says her panties are still in a bunch about what happened the night before about Dorit. Sutton thinks Kyle is just not used to people standing up to her, and she's not, and Sutton is correct. And remember, Dorit said that at the beginning of this season that she ain't putting up with the mess, and she ain't letting her treat her any old kind of way. Garcelle joins them, and then, they're sitting down talking, and they are like, wow, about last night. And it's just like, yeah, like, ooh, like, oh my goodness, I'm still like, oh, because you can still be like processing things like that. Like, oh my God, you guys were just going in. So then they play tennis. I didn't even realize Sutton had a tennis court. So she has a tennis instructor there. They're playing tennis. But honey, not Garcelle, honey. She says she came over here to look cute and drink cocktails. So she gonna lie at her big age and say her arm hurts. Why did you have to lie about that? But you want Kyle to tell the truth about something that's not your business, but you gotta lie about playing tennis. Girl. Okay. So they have lunch afterwards. Look like they were eating sushi. I saw chopsticks. And Kyle says, she called Mauricio to tell him that she can't be friends with PK. And Mauricio was like, oh my God, that's the stupidest thing I ever heard. And she said, well, if it bothers Dorit, then I can't be his friend. Okay, it's a girl code thing, Mauricio. So Sutton and Garcelle tells Kyle that they would be upset too. Like, if you was talking to my husband, I would be upset too. Well, Kyle says, Garcelle, your situation was different. And then Garcelle says, well, no, it was similar to Dorit's, not the infidelity part, but definitely the angry part. Sutton tells Kyle that she had infidelity in her marriage with Mauricio. And Kyle is so very guarded. She is holding things to her chest. She looking like, what are you talking about? She was like, what part? And so Sutton said something, and she was like, who did? Who said? No, I didn't. No, when? It was so weird because, Sutton put her foot in her mouth, and now she can't get it out because Kyle is not going with it. And she's just like, oh, okay. And so they say, I think Garcelle said it's the unspoken non-confirmation of most stepping out that no one speaks of. And then Sutton says in her confessional that, there she go, letting stuff slip out her mouth again. She said, I have a very bad problem with that. You do. So then Kyle says Dorit has never had a problem with her and PK texting and talking and da-da-da-da-da-da. Right? So Garcelle is like, well, she wants you to take her side in this, which is understandable. And Kyle understands. So Sutton says, are y'all just texting memes? He's not talking about their relationship. Kyle's like, no. And so it's like Sutton swears it's some news in their phone. She swears in their text thread, it got to be something else. So she's like, no, Kyle says, right now, I just feel like I don't even know Dorit. And you don't, Kyle, because Dorit is changing right before our eyes. Dorit doesn't even know Dorit, but she got to go with it and she's learning herself. And you are taking, your little damage, little collateral damage a little bit. And so, Kyle says there is just no incentive in fixing things with Dorit. And so they're like, yeah, because Kyle was like, I don't want to be around all that. And the other two were like, yeah, neither do I. So Erica meets up with her interior designer, and Dorit comes too, and they meet at this upscale furniture store where they share, where they serve champagne when you walk in and blah, 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 right? So Erica's talking furniture, and then she asks Dorit, how is she? And I'm like, y'all just went hiking the day before. How, well, okay, day by day, I guess. How are you? So Bose tell them that Sutton has a problem with their friendship. Like she has a problem with Bose and Dorit becoming so cool, and Erica too. And so Dorit wants Sutton to grow up. Girl, you got a lot of nerve, girl. So Erica asks Dorit, what does she need from Kyle now that it's post Viper Room? What do you want from her? Dorit just wishes Kyle told her about their communication. She just wished she knew that they were texting and what they text about. Now, okay, let me finish. Dorit says it would have made her feel like she can trust Kyle instead of it seeming so secretive. And she wonders why Kyle flipped out on her so much. I'm like, girl, you the one who was doing all the flipping out. You lunged across that table. You was hollering and screaming in that darn Viper room. Excuse you, she was meeting your energy. Ain't nobody gonna sit there and just let you keep fussing and hollering at them and keep hollering at them. You've been hollering and fussing at Kyle all season. It's episode 7. Girl, that vein popped up and is sick of you. That vein and Kyle is sick of you. Now, this is just something I had thought of, besties. Remember, because it just seems like we don't remember, Kyle is going through a divorce also, correct? Their husbands are best friends, correct? How do you know what they're texting about? Everyone, and I'm talking about Garcelle, Sutton, Bowles, Dorit, probably Erica too. You guys, Jennifer Tilly, you guys are assuming that they are texting about him and Dorit. Did you forget that PK and Mauricio are best friends? She's going through a divorce. Maybe she's trying to get the tea on Mauricio so she can connect the dots and could get, then get things confirmed. Have you ever thought about that? Now, I know nobody likes Kyle. Everybody can't stand her. She's so unauthentic. She's a liar. She be fronting. She fake. Why is she on the show? Blah, blah, blah. But remember, she might be speaking to him regarding her divorce, her soon to be ex husband. This probably, their interactions probably have nothing to do with Dorit. Probably, maybe they both are consoling each other. And I just really think that this is a tough situation. Now, granted, you guys, we are all on the outside looking in, and I know how much and how easy it is to say what you would and would not do when it's not you. Well, if that was me, I wouldn't be talking to him if she my friend. Well, he's her friend too. You know what I'm saying? It's just a slippery slope. And you got to be careful when you bringing your friends and your husband together to be friends. Was this, 8 years later, stuff is hitting the fan, and now you mad because they friends. It's your fault they friends. Okay, you guys say, well, she should stop talking to him. Oh, it's so much easier said than done. And I really think Dorit and Kyle shouldn't be talking because Dorit is really going to ruin their friendship. And, with her going through what she's going through, she's furious, she's angry, she's hurt, she's bitter, she's all the things. She probably should just leave Kyle. In real life, we wouldn't even be, they wouldn't even be talking in real life. They good. Kyle good for going away for 6 months or whatever she does, but they shouldn't talk because Dorit is just not reasonable. She needs to go through her stuff and come out of it, and then maybe they can talk later. But they're both going through stuff. They need to give each other some grace and just separate for right now. Because honey, Dorit, if you was hollering and screaming at me every time we would, yeah, hands and feet, boo boo, hands and feet. So yeah, so over here at Bo's house, she's getting ready to go have surgery because she has 10 fibroids. One is the size of a grapefruit. That has got to be uncomfortable. And she's not as big as it seems like she should be. That's just me. Don't know what I'm talking about. But you would just think 10 fibroids, you would think she would have a bigger pouch. She says she has one, but you would just think she would have a bigger pouch. The grapefruit, a grapefruit. Wow, that's huge. So her boo is with her. Child, she says she is 47, he's 48, and she is willing to give him a baby. Girl, is he gonna give you his last name first? What's going on here? And he's never been married and he doesn't have children, and that's not your problem, Bose. That is his problem. He has had 48 years to get this together. You are 47. Don't you do that to them kids. Don't you do it. I'm around her age, maybe a little couple more years. I'm somewhere near there. And baby, the way these knees be acting, the way my piece be needing, the I can don't do it. The way I like quiet. I drive in the car sometimes and didn't realize that the radio wasn't on. You just need peace and quiet. These knees is hurting, hot flashing, tired, sleepy, want naps. Girl, who wants old parents? Girl, please. Can you picture her? 40, girl, you are no. But Nico be the one raising it. Poor Nico. And it's like, isn't her daughter kind of grown? How old is, I don't remember how old the daughter is. Okay, if she's a teenager, you'll be a grandmother in about 10 years. I remember her face, but I can't remember her age. How old is that girl? She looked like she got, anyway, just wait to be a grandma. What's his name? Boo could go from single, never been married, to grandfather. I love that for him. So hours later, child, Dorit has already came over and visited her because they They friends. Kyle comes by for a visit. And so I was like, oh, ain't no flowers. Kyle don't have a basket or a gift bag of love. Nothing. You ain't brought the woman a balloon, a piece of chicken, no KFC, no nothing, no pair of socks, nothing, another wig, nothing. You just coming over to start stuff, huh? Oops, get into the bedroom. Child, she sent her flowers. I said, oh, okay. Oh, you sent her flowers and then you went to visit her the same day she got back. Okay. So, anyway, so, child, her flower arrangements are next to Dorit's. And so she's like, sorry, Kyle. And she said, oh, those are hers. These are mine. These are mine. Yes. And so, besties, I have a question for you. Whose flower arrangements did you like more? Dorit's flower arrangements gave me tropical. I loved them. Kyle's bouquet of flowers gave tea party, Sunday morning, Easter. It just gave pink party. And so Kyle's like, oh, these are her arrangements. Oh, yeah, mine's are prettier. Girl, it all depends on who's looking at them. I like Dorit's more. I'm more that tropical. That arrangement was pretty. So they talked about the fight at the Viper Room, of course. Kyle wants them to get to know each other better. Bose thinks Kyle came over to win her over. Well, duh. Yes, that's her MO. Kyle said she is not that girl. Don't make her out to be that girl. She is not that girl. And she said, but if it bothers her, then she won't talk to PK. Okay, we get it. Did you tell PK that? Did you send him a text and tell him that? We need to see that. Like, we need to see that next season. I want to see Kyle talk to PK, go to lunch, don't go to nobody's house. We don't need no rumors. Go out. Well, I guess they'll, anyway, so what? Go out and have that talk. Bo says that, they don't see. I liked what Bo said. She says, well, what I think is you guys don't see each other in the same way in your friendship. And I had to sit there and I had to rewind that. She said, you guys don't see each other the same in the same way in your friendship. I was like, now that's a bar. That is a bar. That can happen. That can easily happen. So she explains that she has many best friends. Bo says she got 174 best friends. And she said, and I have one who thinks I'm her only best friend. So when she sees me out with others, she sends me the most nasty notes, being all possessive and everything. And so they agree that, that particular type of friend may be Dorit. So Kyle says that could be true, but she doesn't share anything with me. Like, friends, like I'm a friend, I share stuff, but she doesn't share stuff. Child, their production gonna show a flashback of Dorit sitting down at her house with Kyle, telling her that she's possibly headed to divorce. So what are you talking about, Kyle? And Bose, she darn sure ain't buying it. She ain't buying it. She said, because when I met Dorit was an open book. As soon as they met, Dorit was like, hi, my name is Dorit. I'm divorcing PK. He's an alcoholic. He's broke. We don't have no money. And we have 2 kids. Bose tell her that Dorit was mad because she didn't show her the text messages. Now, I don't know if you need to show her the text messages, but I think you wasn't telling her. But at the same time, they wasn't talking. At the same time, Kyle's getting divorced, and I know I see the YouTube street comments. It seems like nobody likes Kyle. I understand, but give her. She does deserve grace. She's going through a divorce too. Let's not forget that. And I know it's easy to forget because it's all this season has been about Dorit and how mad she is at Kyle. Okay, so let's see. Let's see, where did I go? So Kyla's like, well, check this out. She goes grab her phone and she's like, and she tells her about the rumor about Dorit and Mauricio. And so she says she was too lovey-dovey, too touchy-feely. And they said the rumor was she has a thing for Mauricio. And this is what I've been waiting on. Like, I've been waiting for like at least 3 episodes. Like, when is Kyle gonna bring up how the rumor is she had a thing for Mauricio? The rumor was they didn't done it. That was a rumor I had heard, that they had done it. It. And they ran the flashback, they're hugging him. And did you see she kissed Mauricio on his back? It was just like a little, okay. And then, like, if you look at PK and you look at Mauricio, but I mean, love is love. So Bose is like, oh gosh, this is getting worse. I didn't want it to go this far. Oh my God. But she does not bend for Kyle. She just like, yikes. She kind of like she accuses Kyle of being tit for tat. So you kind of being a little tit for tat, huh? So Bose says, a hit dog will holler, and Kyle is hollering. It's like Bose can pick up. She know how to read personalities very, very well. So Kyle and Garcelle are back over at Sutton's house, child. They getting ready to go surprise Erica. They're going to throw her a pizza party, child. So the cap is Kyle called Erica and told her they were going to go to dinner. So they gonna make up for the pizza party they had for Kyle, because they should have done this for Erica when her and Tom broke up. And Erica has mentioned it about 3 or 4, 5, 6, 7, 1,100 times. They get the point. Sutton got the point. She read the room. So Dorita's not invited because, of course, her and Kyle are funking, and Dorit and Sutton ain't cool, right? And Bose is still recovering, so she's at home. So they hop in the car service, honey. They got their red cups. I was like, look at Sutton being ghetto. Sutton and Garcelle. There go Kyle drinking her lemonade. So Sutton's trying to get their attention. They all laughing and giddy. So Sutton calls them, listen here, Lindas. And so it was so funny because Garcelle caught it, the meme with the little Mexican boy telling his mama to listen to him because he's trying to get something to eat from his grandma. So he's like, listen, Linda, listen. Here go Kyle. What's Linda's? Kyle looked stressed out. She was like, first is Karen's. Now who is Linda's? Like, oh my goodness. So they sneak over to Erica's house. They come in. Erica got cowbells on her gate, so she hears them coming in. She looking at them. They all admiring her lemon tree, and she just looking at them like, what are they doing here? Because she thought just Kyle was coming over to get her for dinner. So now she feels like they have taken her away forever. I don't even know if I can say that word. So she feels like they are taking her away against her will. Don't know where she's going. She's like, oh my goodness, why are they here? And so they blindfold her. She goes along with it. And so, child, they surprised her and took her to Chuck E. Cheese. Oh, that was so cute. It was really cute. And she says she likes Chuck E. Cheese. And I'm sitting here like, Erica, when was the last time you've been to Chuck E. Cheese? You have one son who is hecka grown. I don't even know if we've probably seen him once or twice. He's grown. When was the last time? And he don't have children, so you're not a grandmother. So when was the last time you've been to Chuck E. Cheese? Well, hey, I just thought about it. Maybe Tom has grandchildren. Hey, she went with it. We're not sure if she meant it or not, but they in there playing games, child. So they went to the skee balls. Kyle over there cheating. She didn't walked up the skee ball thing and throw the ball inside to see what would happen if she really won. Oh, goodness. Kyle being ghetto. So they tell her how good she's doing with the moving forward and all this. And so she's kind of like, thanks, but Tom is getting ready to go to trial. So it's starting starting all over again. Then they turn the conversation on to Kyle. And so they asked about Mauricio. She's just like, I don't know. He likes the Congo life. And Garcelle's like, me too. And she's like, we're moving slowly. And so, Erica's like, I don't want to get married again. I don't want to be on paperwork. She said, I do want a boo. I want someone, but I don't want paperwork. Sutton is like, I don't know about that. I'm not sure. But right now, I'm fine with my businesses and my kids. I'm good. Garcelle is like, whatever. So she tells Kyle, can I be blunt? And it was like, okay, yeah. If you're going to be a lesbian, just be a lesbian. Be who you want to be. Kyle is speechless. And why, Kyle? Why are you speechless? Why are you speechless? It's giving, girl, I am a lesbian. I just ain't came out and told y'all. That's what it was giving. Erica brings it up. No. So Erica was kind of like, oh my goodness, oh my goodness. So Erica brings up Dorit's in these text messages. And so she said, she changed and she wants to know what y'all was texting about pretty much. And so, Kyle's like, it wasn't nothing inappropriate. I'm an adult and, I'm not pulling out my phone. But then she said, but let me read this to y'all. And I don't know what made her do this because no one asked her to read anything and she could have just left it as it was. So she pulls out her phone and she reads the text that she sent to PK. And it was saying like, I know you have lots of friends and I'm one of your friends too. And just know that I will never repeat anything that he has shared with her. And moving forward, we'll just send memes and laughing out and LOLs and emojis. It's laughing emojis and stuff. And so she repeats it again and says she does not want to repair things with Dorit. So pretty much Kyle is picking PK. But it sounds like she might just leave them both alone because she's just told, I don't get it. She says she don't want to fix things with Dorit. But then she tells Dorit she'll stop talking to PK. Okay. Okay, I don't know about that. But Garcelle goes over to, so we leave that there. So Garcelle goes over to visit Bowles and she brings her Jamaican food. Garcelle tells Bowles that Dorit is all up in her hoo-ha. She's like an embryo all up in your hoo-ha. I was like, oh no. And it's like, why would you say that to somebody you don't know yet? Like, give Bose a chance. First of all, give Bose a chance to recover. Why are y'all coming bothering this woman? She is trying to recover. If anything, you could have made a joke and said that she was one of your fibroids. Dorita's one of your fibroids. Okay, so she's an embryo. It was like, if I was Bose, I'd have been like, girl, get out. So Garcelle explains, you have to be careful with Dorit. And Bo's thing is like, y'all don't like her. That don't mean I don't have to like her. Let me get to know her. So no, Garcelle is like, I'm gonna explain how this works with her and I. It's like a 2 steps forward and a 3 steps backwards. So Bose is like, well, why is that so? She's like, I don't know, but one thing I'll tell you is she do talk a lot. She's gonna explain the whole story and blah 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 blah. So that wasn't really the answer to this 2 steps forward and the 3 steps back. And so Bose is like, she just going through this, she going through that. I'm just want to be a bridge. Bose is like, look, that's my girl, and I'm gonna stand beside her. So Garcelle, she said, I just never seen Kyle and Dorit act like this. They were really close. They were the best. They were best friends. So she said, Kyle read the text message, and Bose was like, oh no. And so Garcelle is like, that part. I said, oh yeah, you could say things with your black sister that you can't say with Sutton, because then you got to explain what that part means. So she was able to like, that part, sis, And so Bose was like, something is going on. And, pretty much she has calculated that Kyle lied to her. And Bose asked, well, how is Dorit going to find out? And Garcelle was like, I don't know, because you know I'm full with her. So Bo says, you know what? You're going to tell her. And that, besties, was the end of the episode. Bose was like, you're going to tell her. You're going to tell her what you told me because you think you came over here and you think I'm going to do your dirty work. Boo, I'm over here recovering. So guess what? I'm not saying nothing. You coming over here being messy and you think I'm going to do your dirty work. Nope. You're going to tell her and I'm going to see to it that you tell my new best friend what you just told me. Ooh, besties, are we here for it? Did you guys see the previews for next week? Huh. It's going down. Kyle is about to tear these girls up. She about to walk out. She finna do a Dorit and walk out because she is tired of it. Victimized, victim so much. You know how Kyle is. I'll be back with another review. Bye, bestie.